Hi everybody, it's the Gregarious Giggler here, and today I'm going to talk to you about men.
They buy you dinner, open your door. Other than that, what are they good for? Men. I'm talking about men.
So today I thought I would tell you some of the don'ts of dating and what you do not want to say to a girl in order to get a date with her. Let's start with the pretty typical comment that men like to make to me. And it's not about my teeth.
Wow. Those are amazing. So big and inviting. Supple. Are they veneers? Is it a porcelain?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, they're mine.
It's like you have ivory smuggled in or something.
Yes, I'm very well aware of my endowments, but that doesn't mean that I need to be reminded of it or them from strange men, okay? If you make note of the fact that you like my figure or that you like certain qualities about my figure, then I would suggest that you keep it to yourself, because unless you're in a relationship with a girl, she really doesn't want to hear about it before you've even met her, certainly before the first date.
You have a great body. Your knockers. No, not your knockers. Your breasts. Your breasts are like melons. Not melons. Like pillows. Can I fluff your pillows?
Honestly, anything that you say about a woman's body, regardless, is going to be taken in a sexual connotation, and I would just recommend that you not go there. Compliments. Be careful what kind of compliments you pay a woman. The common compliment that I get the most often are on my eyes, and I'm always very flattered when compliments me on that. And even though I'm always very flattered if somebody says that to me, it's a compliment that I have heard a lot. If it's something aesthetic, you can say it, especially if it's a nice compliment, but I would go with something that's outside of the box, something that you think she'll appreciate that maybe other people haven't noticed, especially men. If you're with a girl and she plays baseball and you guys are throwing the ball around, which would be a very unusual first date, but let's say that happens, a great compliment to her would be, wow, you got a great arm. That's a talent. That's something that she's worked on. That's a skill. Because as nice as it is to hear, oh, you have beautiful eyes, you have nice teeth, those are things that you were born with. You really didn't have a hand in that. But try to think outside the box as far as compliments go. And all you do is you try to find something that will flatter her more because it's a unique compliment. Don't underestimate complimenting her on her intellect, especially not even having to say specifically, oh wow, you're really intelligent, because that's just kind of a statement. Maybe make her feel intelligent. The things you shouldn't say. There are so many. We've already covered the fact that you don't want to send her a picture of your private parts, because that's really not something that we're into, because we're not as visual as you guys.
Straight women are considering going gay. That's happening. That's happening. So many straight women are literally just one unsolicited dick pic away from just changing their settings to women. Like, no, forget it.
No, we really don't want to see those pictures. Yeah, girls say they don't want to see it, but they really do. No, we say it because we really don't. Honestly, I got really upset about it one night because I've gotten so many of these damn photos. What has happened? Why can't guys just send a picture of a flower and say, this reminded me of you, instead of saying, I was thinking about you, I wanted to show you how much I was thinking about you. Don't talk about weight. That's a sensitive issue for women. Here is a prime example of something you don't want to say to a woman. There was this guy that I met on Tinder, and this was last year. He wasn't really my type from the photos, but he looked like he might be good looking. You know, it was one of those where you're not exactly sure. We matched, and then we started talking on WhatsApp after a while. Hi, how are you? Good, how are you? Good, thanks. La la. We start talking about this, that, what does he do for a living? He said he's a personal trainer, no surprise because he looks extremely fit. So then he asked me if I would send him a picture, a full body photo. Now here's the thing, I used to send full body photos. I don't anymore because I have them on the apps and that should be sufficient. Because I absolutely think it's fair to send a full body photo. They have every right to know what you look like. I sent him a picture and the only one I had at the time was of me in my bathing suit. I thought I looked pretty damn good in that photo. Thank you very much. And then he sent me one of himself and I was just kind of like, okay. I mean, he's each his own. You know, he's not ugly, but he's just not, for the face, he just didn't do much more. He asked me for another photo. I said, isn't that enough? So I sent him one of my face. He says, do you have another one close up in your bikini? I said, may I ask why you're on Tinder? He says, to try. It can be construed in different ways in Italian. It could mean to try to get laid, to hit on girls. It could be any of those. I said, so are you here for fun or for a relationship? And he says, you never know beforehand. I said, oh, okay. I'm here for something serious. I'm not here to, play around. And he says, well, if I were to come see you at Civitavecchia on Saturday or Sunday, maybe we could go to the beach together. And I said, listen, I don't know you. And he says, well, that's why. We would get to know each other. And I said, okay, well, we'll see. But first I'd like to talk on the phone. He says, you're a very pretty girl, but not really my ideal type physically.
Oh, no, you didn't.
And that's okay. Stop there. He says, I like thin girls. I'm sorry, but I'm sincere. I said, bravo. And then he says, we could have hooked up. And I said, well, then why did you ask if I wanted to go to the beach? He says, for that reason. Maybe we could have gotten together and had sex. But if you don't want to, then that's okay. I wrote, okay, ciao. I'm sorry if I was really honest with you, but if a girl doesn't thunderstrike me, then there's really no point in it. Good luck in your search.
I swear to God, sometimes I wish I were a lesbian.
Do you want to try and have sex sometime just to see if we are?
But if we're not married by the time we're 30, ask me again.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. If you don't like the girl, I get it. You're never going to see her, so there's no harm in your mind of any real future damage. Except that it's not nice, given that there were like over 2,000 men that I talked to and they all found me attractive except for 2. I didn't have a problem with it and I laughed at him. Either positive or negative, you don't need to talk about her body. There's really no reason to do that. The other story that I will tell you quickly is met a guy on Tinder. His photos online, they were kind of professional looking. That it was something about the photo that made him good looking. And so I had my suspicions already. We got on WhatsApp. He asked to call me, and I was not impressed with his personality at all. It rubbed me the wrong way. He was a little too pushy. He asked me out right away, said that he wanted to have dinner with me, wanted to invite me out for dinner, that he could come to Civitavecchia, boom, 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 very fast. And so I was kind of like, I felt like a mouse trapped in the corner and said, okay, yeah, that would be fine. We'll talk about when later, but I have to go right now. Then he decides to send me a live selfie, which we've talked about before, that these guys love their live selfie. And he's just awful looking. To each his own. There could be a woman out there somewhere for the guys. I can't wait to meet you. We'll talk later. Bellissima. Then he writes, after lunch, ciao. And I wrote, I'm busy all day today. Because I was trying to keep my distance from that point. I just figured that it would taper off. And for women out there, don't underestimate the power of just not responding, just ignoring messages. It's not very nice, but it does work because eventually they get the hint and they leave you alone. Some of them are crazy. Some of them continue to write you because they just demand an answer. They're like flies. You kind of have to just keep shooing them away. So I said, I'm busy all day today. And he says, oh, okay. Well, that's fine. When you're free, when you have time. That was at 12:14. At 1:48 in the afternoon, he writes, "Hey, do you have Facebook?" And then sends me another horrendous live selfie of himself. Says, "If you want, tomorrow we can have dinner together." And I said, "Listen, if I can be really honest, I'm not really interested, but thanks very much for the invitation. But before you were willing to go out with me, and now you don't want to anymore? You don't want to get to know me?" "No, I'm sorry, I don't." "Why? Where did I go wrong? Is it because I'm not good looking in the photos?" He must be aware of the fact that he's not terribly attractive. If he knows that he's not attractive, the next sentence, "Listen, what if I told you that I want to have sex with you?" Ugly man wants to have sex with me. I could have sex with a good-looking man, but the ugly man says he wants to have sex with me. Tempting, but no. And then, when I still didn't respond to these messages, he wrote, "I am 20 centimeters down below."
Like a bundle.
But it's so big and impressive.
Size means very little. Bigger is not necessarily better.
Wow, that is supposed to get me to go out on a date with you. This is where we're at, folks. Because apparently there are women, this is apparently what gets women to go out with these pathetic losers. I mean, there really are losers, and it has nothing to do with the way he looks. He could be a fantastic person, even if he's not all that attractive. But he's not. He's a piece of dirt. And he's ugly. He's ugly as dirt. So I blocked him. Girls don't care. They don't care. Then why would you want a girl who's that shallow? Why would you want a girl who said, "I don't find you attractive, but now that I found out what you're packing, I think I might just go out with you because I'm that kind of girl." They want to have their cake and eat it too. They want a slut, but they don't want her to be titled as a slut. The only kind of women that would be interested in something like this is a slut. And if you're really, truly, genuinely looking for a relationship, then that's not the way to go about it. That is why you don't have a girlfriend, and why, as a result, I don't have a boyfriend. Bye, everybody.
Che bella.
Talking